Hey everybody, Nick here, and today, well, I got I got some disassembly and maintenance to do on this little guy right here. This is the Spyderco the Schempp Bowie by Ed Schempp. This is a cool knife. Weird knife. I mean, who else but Spyderco? Seriously, they do such weird things on such a regular basis. It's kind of entertaining. All right, so a couple of things I'm noticing initially here. There is a bolster here that I probably don't need to take off. Just knowing how Spyderco usually does things, I think I can leave that one on. But what I do need to take off are these 3 screws, as well as pulling the pivot. At least that's my current bet. I'm probably not a brilliant man, so who knows what it actually is, but let's go ahead and do that. I'll pull the pivot first here. Yeah, there you go. Nice, easy. That was a T8 screw. I bet the other one's a T6 here. Oh, you T6? Maybe a T7? That'd be weird. Oh, no, don't go. No. My T7 bit just fell into the abyss between my other bits. Oh, guys. Oh, the humanity of it all. Okay. Yeah, hashtag Hindenburg joke. A little too soon, maybe. That's fine. Okay, pull that out there. You T7? Yeah, you T7. All right. All right. Nope. That was T6. All right. Hindenburg joke for nothing. That blew up in my face. Huh? The reason I know I need to get up in... Sorry, guys. The reason I need to get these 3 screws off is because there are probably some scale screws underneath there that I can't get to with all of these things in place. And because this clip screw goes all the way through, I need to do that. There is a possibility as well. Oh, okay, that's easy enough. Yeah, there is actually the possibility that the clip screw I'll need to undo from this side. Wait, no. Okay, so the clip screw is not a Chicago screw style thing that goes all the way through from the looks of it. No, it's screwing into both sides. Okay, that's fine. Now I should be able to pop off this carbon fiber bit here, although it might be a little trickier to do because, as you can see here, there's actually an angle cut. So I need to make sure I can slide that off. Why are you not coming loose? Yeah, there we go. So I need to make sure that I'm pulling it out this way rather than trying to force it directly upwards, because that's not going to work because of this angle, which, by the way, that angle cut is nice. Okay, so see, there you go. Once I was able to pop it off this direction, I should be able to pull. Let's get this screw the rest of the way out of there. There we go. Are there little... Oh, yeah, there are sub pins in there. Wow. Okay. So, guys, what I'm saying, there appears to be like a little milling in the carbon fiber, a little post sort of thing in the carbon fiber that's seating up here and up here. And so what I'm actually going to need to do is kind of lift those guys out of position. No, maybe I'm just going to need to pull that bolster because I don't want to flex this thing too much. Yeah, okay. I'll pull the bolster. What that'll allow me to do is to lift this straight off. Yeah, there's the bolster is removed. Now I can lift the CF straight off. Okay, good. Guys, seriously, pay attention to that. The stuff I said earlier about not needing to pull that bolster, that was BS. Because if I hadn't pulled that bolster, I wouldn't be able to get the carbon fiber off because it had this pin here, so I can't pull that way. Okay, whatever. Nothing harmed. But this is why you always want to make sure that you're thinking as you're doing these disassemblies rather than just kind of brute forcing it, because otherwise you're going to have yourself a really bad time. It'd be very easy to break carbon fiber, things like that. So, yeah, there we go. All right, pop this loose and lift this off, and the knife is all together. Good, beautiful. Okay, so what we can see here is a little bit of grease from the factory here. Not a whole lot of grease, but a little bit. It's fine. Let's go ahead and pop this loose. Actually, fun story that I've probably told a couple of times already, and I'll probably tell again during the review because I'm not a brilliant man, as we just saw. The whole, I can keep the bolster on there, no freaking problem. But anyways, when I went to Blade Show in 2017, because this is right before Blade Show of 2018 that I'm not going to be at, sadly, I, along with Bird of Frankie and Bird, Birdshot IV channel, actually spent some time sitting at the Spyderco booth and chatting with Ed Schempp. the designer of this knife, who seems to be, at least from that experience, a singularly nice guy. And, you know, we were talking about things like how does he test the strength of his various edges, you know, how does he figure out what edge angle he needs, etc. Talking about a bush in the back of his yard that he would always just cut on, and if it damaged the edge, that he needed a better edge. You know, it was a nice experience. I mean, very, very seldom, especially being mostly a jackass who sits at home and handles knives, do I actually get to talk and interact with the designer of something. And especially, you know, getting to handle his personal Schempp Bowie, the one that he carried with him to the show, was kind of cool. And so at that point in time, it was sort of fixed in my mind that, you know what, I need to try one of these guys out, see what this guy's about. And, you know, so I'm glad to do that. And did I mention that Spyderco sent this to me? Maybe not. But in case I didn't, they did. Spyderco absolutely did. And so keep that in mind as you're doing the review. But that's part of the reason why I chose to, you know, grab this knife that's kind of a little out of my bailiwick, generally speaking, but is pretty cool. Absolutely. So, here's what we're going to go ahead and do here. The knife is now pretty much cleaned out, and to be fair, it wasn't particularly dirty. I mean, it was straight from the factory. Literally, it shipped to me from the Spyderco factory. So, what we're going to go ahead and do on this guy is we're going to use a technique that I tend to like for these kinds of phosphor bronze washer knives, where I use, I'm just going to use a little bit of nano grease here. This is the... This is the grease that Nano Oil people make. I don't know that it's the best grease out there, and it definitely smells a little bit like I imagine, well, there are some nasty places out there in the world, and this smells like most of them. But anyways, I'm going to use a little bit of this grease here on the washer here. And I found that a mix of both grease and oil will tend to support these kinds of washer knives a little bit better. It lets that real glassiness come out a little bit more than just using an oil alone does. I kind of want like 100-weight nano oil or something like that that's a little bit thicker still. But you can use any, I imagine you can use pretty much any grease out there and it'll work just as well. But this is something to consider. I forget exactly who told me to do this, but whoever it was, clap yourself on the back because it's a really good idea. So I'm using a mix of this nano grease and then the 85-weight nano oil here. And just going to go ahead and set the blade straight down onto it. There you go. Case closed. And then I'll do the same thing over here, where I'm going to use a little bit of the grease and a little bit of the oil on top of it. That just tends to make for a really nice, glassy experience. Works well on Shabazz's as well, by the way. You know, people have different feelings on different greases. There's the fluoro greases, etc. But, you know, I found that this technique works. And more importantly, it works with the materials, substances, I suppose, I have close at hand anyways. So go ahead and add a little bit. I'm over-lubricating. What else is new? But, yeah, that'll work. And so now we are back. That's in business. I'm going to go ahead and drop this onto the whole affair here. Get everything put into position. Next step here is going to be to go ahead and put the body screws back, the inner scale screws back on there. It's kind of weird. I haven't done a bolster disassembly in a while now, and yet in the last, you know, 45 minutes, I've done 3 of these. The sub-hilt, the Hanen, and then this guy here, which is cool. But a big part of, you know, people ask me, Nick, how'd you get so good at disassembling knives? Like, okay, to start with, am I actually good at this? Yeah. Some people might disagree, particularly the Chris Reeve forum on Blade Forums. Believe I am a total hack. Maybe they're right. I don't know, but it works. But anyways, the way that you get good at doing this is you just do it a bunch. You try a bunch of different knives. You get a sense of how these things are put together, generally speaking, and that'll give you a sense of, you know, how to do it more specifically. That way, when one of these guys lands on your table, you can say really confidently, like, hey, guys, you don't need to take this bolster off. No, come on. Yeah. So, actually, that's a vote in favor of I am not actually good at this. But to be fair, nothing's broken, so, yeah, no problem. And again, this is why brute force is generally not the best approach. Unless you're cracking passwords. In that case, it's kind of the only approach. Unless the crypto is vulnerable. But anyways, that's a whole different field. I digress. Okay. So I've got those put on there. Now I'm going to drop the bolster onto place here. And I'm going to put the pivot in place first because there is a chance that I've got something screwed up here and that I'll need to remove that bolster again. That's not T10. Come here, T8. Here you go. It was hidden. Crouching Tiger, hidden T8. The Nick Shabazz story. Memoir coming soon. All right. Let's go ahead and drop this into position here. Now, at this point in time, all the screws that are necessary for this knife to open and close are in position. So, oh, yeah, that's smoother. No play. Helps if I fully lock the knife. Good and smooth. Yeah, just making sure. All right. Oh, yeah, that's way freaking smoother. Nice. So that the pivot's tiled in. Hey, that's nice. Now I'm just going to go ahead and drop this last set of two screws in here. Let's go ahead and put you here. And let's go ahead and put you... actually, yeah. Go ahead and put you there. In the back here. But that goes here. Beautiful. And we are good to go here. There you go. Pretty straightforward as long as you take the bolster off first. Dear people who are just starting to watch the video, don't listen to him. He knows nothing. Still perfectly centered, deliciously smooth, and absolutely good to go. Hope this has been interesting to you. Have yourselves an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.